And a good evening, folks, and thank you for joining us on KKBS this evening. I'm Mike Patterson, along with Todd Singletary. We're in Piedmont, Oklahoma tonight as the Guymon Tigers on the road at the midpoint of the 2016 season are on the road and hosted tonight by the Piedmont Wildcats. Guymon coming off a couple of tough losses over the last 2 weeks to district play. A big loss a couple of weeks ago to Lawton Eisenhower. A bigger loss last week to Carl Aldridge Titans back home and on the road facing a Piedmont team that is on the rise within the district. Piedmont homecoming here tonight from Piedmont, Oklahoma, as the Wildcats host Guymon. Guymon looking for their first district win of the season, and Piedmont favored, not surprisingly, in the game tonight. But it's a little closer than you might expect in terms of what the people that are professionals. This is going to make us crazy before it's all said and done. I got the cowbells right in front of us now. I don't know if the folks at home can hear it, but we sure can.
We need more cowbells.
No, we don't.
No?
No.
Okay.
Anyway, talk a little bit about what we might expect in Piedmont's glide path into this ball game tonight.
Piedmont comes into tonight's game with a 3-2 record. They won their their opener of the season on the road against El Reno. Then they played Weatherford and lost that game 27-20, and then lost to Noble 33-27. And then they righted the ship. They played Northwest, beat them 33-0. That was on the road, and then last week at home beat Lawton Eisenhower 26-12.
Had a little frog in your throat there?
Just a little bit of pizza that came back.
Swallowed a bug?
Lawton we saw a couple weeks ago, and they looked very salty, and so for them to beat Piedmont, or Piedmont to beat Lawton the way they did, you have to be impressed.
That's the thing that gives me pause tonight, Todd, is that Piedmont beats Lawton Eisenhower last week, and you and I were both impressed with Lawton 19.
Oh, absolutely. They looked very impressive. It was a much better team than I was expecting to see. I thought they would be a good team, but they were impressive. Their quarterback, Fisher, looked very nice, and the running back was very solid. Maybe more impressive even than Fisher, the quarterback, who's getting some D1 looks.
Tigers to kick off, and we are moments away. 2 deep for the Piedmont Wildcats, and here we go. End over in deep. Will be taken up inside the end zone. Touchback is immediate and called by the White Hats. And so Piedmont will take over first and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Nice kick. So the Tigers will keep the return from happening and will force Piedmont to start at their own 20.
The Oklahoman, as you alluded to earlier, has picked Piedmont to win tonight, 30-14. And I would tend to think that might be a surprise.
Well, it's just, in light of what's happened this last couple of weeks as the district play has started to happen, it's maybe a little bit of a surprise. Noah Ellis is your quarterback for the Piedmont Wildcats, and he will start in the shotgun formation with a single back. Hand off to that back. He gets a hole on the right side as across the 25, and then spins out to the 30, near first down yardage on that first carry.
Number 27,
for the Wildcats.
Landon White, the ball carrier, and you'll recall his name from last year's broadcast because he had a very fine evening in what was a miserable night for football last year when these two teams met.
10 yards picked up for the Wildcats to the 30, and it is enough to move the sticks. 1st and 10 Wildcats from their own 30-yard line.
Landon White carried the ball 30 times last year for 142 yards and 3 touchdowns.
2 wideouts, right, 1 left. Quick opener, and they block the pass from Ellis, but then he turns it up himself. And across the 35, out across the 40, and Ellis turns what was a play that the Tigers had defended really well into a very good offensive movement for the Wildcats. Ellis picking up 13 to the 43-yard line, and another 1st and 10 for Piedmont.
Tigers had great penetration over their left-hand side and forced Ellis to tuck it in and run it himself, and it turned out to be a pretty dandy move for him.
1st and 10 Piedmont from their own 43. 3 wideouts right. Running back also set off to the right. Play action, pass to the right side is complete. Tigers defend it well and will stop forward progress at the 45. Tigers clearly watching film of Piedmont and had that play sniffed out very, very early.
Absolutely, and well-coached play there by the Tiger defense, because it looked like everything was going to go to the left. They were pulling a guard to the left. Everything was going to the left, and they do the swing pass to the right. Tigers in tight coverage out there on their left-hand side and bring him down quickly.
3-yard picked up on the pass, giving him 3 out to the 46. It is 2nd and 7, just underway first period. Piedmont hosting Guymon tonight and scoreless in a very, very early going. Ellis in the shotgun, direct snap, play action, pass, slot left, complete at the 50, and he'll get another yard or 2 out of it. With the completion on that side is Jacob Stortz. And he should be just shy of 1st down yardage.
Nice coverage downfield. I believe that was, who was that? Yeah, that was Guymon Ochoa out there in coverage, and Huckins coming in late and securing the tackle short of the 1st down. 49-yard
line in Tiger territory. 3rd and 2 from there for the Wildcats. Slot on the left, wideouts right and left, and a single running back. Tigers jump. And they'll be flagged for the 5 yards and the automatic 1st down on the offside penalty.
That is the call. There was some hesitation for me because I thought there was some movement on that right-hand side of the offensive line, but that is not the case. And the Tigers give up the 1st down via the penalty.
Moves it to the 44 in Tiger territory. 1st and 10 Piedmont. Wildcats with a fairly nice opening drive from their perspective.
Pretty balanced. Got some passing, got some running.
Offset behind the quarterback and running back, and that is White. Starts right, then comes back to his left as across the 40, spins across the 35, up to bring down. He's close to another 1st down.
Nick Brewer finally gets enough of him to bring him down as Piedmont quickly back to the line.
Absolutely.
After the 1st down.
Wasting no time. They do give him the 1st down and the pickup down of 10 yards to the 34. Handoff to White, right side, has some blocking, inside the 30, down to the 26. Nice running there. That's going to pick up another chunk of the yardage at 7 or 8 for White. Timeout taken by the Tigers. We'll take it with them. Stepping aside. Back after this. You're listening to Tiger Football on KKBS The Boss. Back out of the timeout. 2nd and a very long 2 for Piedmont. Working inside Guymon territory. Handoff goes to Whitehill. Bounce left, then right. Breaks a tackle and is inside the 10. Down near the 5. And the Tigers are just having a hard time wrapping up Landon White on this drive.
I think that was Drew Winter in there late on the tackle. And boy, Mr. White looks very impressive so far.
1st and goal to go after the 17-yard pickup. They'll try the right side. White's close, spinning, trying to get in. No signal from the official. Looks like the Tigers have stopped him just short, and I do mean just short of the end zone.
Just short, and a nice spin move by Landon White there on the right-hand side, getting oh so close to that touchdown.
Inside the 1. Pickup of 8 on that carry. 2nd and goal to go. Piedmont, very impressive on this drive, Todd.
Yeah, they've had good balance, passing early and getting, there was 4, 5, 6 yards, and then the run has been very impressive.
2nd and goal from inside the 1 for the Wildcats. Move a man, then they bring him back. Little misdirection. White tries the right side. I don't think he got in either. Tiger defense rises up, and it'll be 3rd and goal.
Great job by the Tigers on the left-hand side of not getting sucked into that motion man who came to his right, then back to his left. Everybody stayed off to the right and brought White down short. Maybe lost a little bit there.
That was Dylan Metter that was in motion, Todd, and didn't fool anybody. 3rd and goal. At the 1. Ellis, direct snap, gives it off. White in the end zone off of right guard for the touchdown.
Goes to that D gap on the right-hand side and found just enough of a crease that he was able to squeeze through and get Piedmont on the board here first tonight.
7:23 left in the first period, and Piedmont scores on a 1-yard Landon White run. Extra point attempt to come. Dylan Metter, the kicker, awaiting the snap. Long time here. There we go. Deep snap is back. Hold is down. Kick is on the way. And it's good. Piedmont leads the Tigers. 23 left in the first. We'll step aside. Back after this. You're listening to Tiger Football on KKBS The Box. And we're back 7-zip as the Wildcats go 80 yards on an opening drive to score the touchdown and take the lead here in the early going.
They got 75 yards of that 80 yards. 75 yards offensively, 5 yards by penalty.
Right.
67 of it came on rushing. It seemed more like passing, only 8 yards in passing. 2 of 2 was Ellis on that opening drive.
Kickoff is up and away, short, end over end, and heading out of bounds on the far side. That'll mean the Tigers will start at their own 35-yard line on this possession. Hey! Tiger Football brought to you on KKBS by TEL Oil and Play Like a Girl Women's Fitness Center. That's the area's only women's fitness center. Autumn resolutions that ask only that you be open to positive change. Todd, are you open to positive change?
I am a huge fan of positive change.
So you're open to it?
I am, but I'm not allowed.
Wow.
Because I'm not a man.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, I need to talk to Kerry about that.
Tigers first and 10 from their own 35, looking to see if they can answer the Wildcats with their opening possession. Direct snap, Santos hands off, little stutter step delay, and then tackled for a loss on the opening play.
And this is going to be huge for the Tigers' success tonight. They're going to have to find a way for their offensive line to find some cohesiveness that has really eluded them over the last couple of weeks. And make some blocks and let their running backs and everybody in the backfield find some positive yards. It's going to be huge for this team tonight.
2nd and 12, 2 yards lost on that first play. Tigers from their own 33 on second down. Handoff. They'll try to go wide left. Got a block. Got some yardage out to the 40. That is Drew Winter with the carry. And Winter picks up about 7. 3rd down and manageable for the Tigers.
Absolutely. I mean, that's exactly what the Tigers had to do. Take some positive yards there. They found some room to the outside as Piedmont was a little slow in their lateral movement down the line.
3rd and 4. Tigers from their 41-yard line. Santos in the gun. Pass, left side, complete. Got the first down. Tackled immediately at the 46, maybe the 47-yard line, but the Tigers will move the chains. Catching the ball out there. Looks like that is O'Shea with the catch.
I believe that is correct. Guymon doing a great job of waiting for that ball to get in and then immediately turning up the field and getting the Tigers' first down of their first opportunity here offensively.
6 yards picked up on the pass completion. 1st and 10 Tigers from the 47. Santos, offset eye behind him. Handoff, stutter step, back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard right up the middle. Not a lot of running room there for the Tigers. Second down.
Now we're going on that A gap on the left-hand side, and that has not been very friendly for the Tigers here tonight. It's the second time they've tried to go to that. And great job by the Wildcats in the interior.
2nd and 9 for Guymon as they break, what passes for a this hurry-up kind of offense. 2 wideouts, left, 1 to the right. Double running backs with Santos off of each hip. Play action. Santos in trouble quickly getting it out and throwing it. I'll tell you what, he was lucky to get that ball back out of the belly of the running back and into the air.
A lot of pressure coming up to him, and he gets it away just before his receiver is able to break out of his pattern on the far side of the field. If he'd had just another second or two, his receiver had broken loose, but wasn't turned around and ready for that pass.
Now for your Wildcat defense.
Tigers have put 3 wides. Now there's some serious confusion about who's lining up where. They're going to line up with 3 wides to the right-hand side on the 39 from their own 48. Direct snap to Santos. In trouble, steps up, going to keep it. Cuts to his left, gets to the midfield strike, and then is taken out of bounds on the far side of the field. That'll bring up 4th down. Santos coming up with a couple of yards on the play, but he needed more than that.
He was fortunate to get anything out of that, as the pressure was really coming in tight. He was able to squeeze out of there and get to the far side of the field, but well short of the first down in a punting situation for the Tigers.
Just under 5 minutes left in the first period, and Piedmont leading 7-0. Tigers getting a little something going offensively. The drive stalls at the midfield strike. Snap back on the punt. Punts away near. Well, Piedmont might have got a hand on it. It's very short. Takes a duck dive and rolls dead at the Piedmont 36-yard line. Wow.
Guymon had a little trouble early going last week in the punting department. The first couple that he had out there, they were fortunate to get maybe 20, 25 yards, but he seemed to get that straightened out and did a much better job later in the game in his punting duties.
Punt of about 13, Todd. 13 yards. So an opportunity for them to stick Piedmont fairly deep goes by the wayside. First and 10 Wildcats from their own 37-yard line, up 7-zip here in the late going of the first period. Handoff, this is White, stutter stepping from the left, flag flies, White out across the 40, near the 45, but I think this may be coming in.
Yep, comes from the umpire, probably going to be a holding penalty. Landon White, very impressive runner. He runs very upright. I don't know if you noticed this, Mike, but he's got it. It is a procedure penalty, I think, is what I said.
Yeah.
Which is an odd.
Yeah, very odd.
To have been such a late flag, but we'll see if they give us.
He's marching off 10.
Yeah, it's got to be a hold.
Marking it off from the point of the infraction, it will go back to the 27-yard line and we'll play first down again. And it will be first and 20 from that point. Wide outs, 2 come left, 1 to the right. Single running back is White, with Ellis at the quarterback spot on the first and 20. Backfield, or the hitman calls the procedure penalty from behind. And so we'll be at first and 25. They'll mark another 5 yards off against the Wildcats.
Well, that didn't hurt our feelings
Not a bit.
in any way.
Not in any way, shape, or form. First down and 25 as they marked it back to the 22.
A country mile all over tonight.
Yeah, it's early for a country mile.
And it's not our country mile, and that makes me happy.
Low snap, handoff to White. He'll try the right side. Not a lot of running room there. He'll stretch out to about the 24. It's a pickup of a couple. Tigers handling White here maybe as effectively as they've done all night.
Yeah, except for that one down at the goal line where they stopped him for a little bit of a loss. But what I was starting to say a little bit earlier, White is a very upright runner. He's got his eyes looking down the field. He's always paying attention. He's not just bowling into it and getting whatever he can out of it. He's always looking for that extra yard.
Second and 22. They gave him 3 on the carry to the 25. Short snap, play action. Ellis will come to his left. Heaves it out. Broken up nicely at the 36-yard line defensively for the Tigers. Intended receiver, but Piedmont there was Jacob Stewart, but it is incomplete.
Coakley out there in coverage for the Tigers and read that play perfectly. Is peeling around to the near side of the field, and Coakley had great position underneath and was ready to go up to bring that ball back.
Third down and 22. Considerably different than that opening drive, at least thus far. 3:19 left first period. Piedmont leading 7-zip.
Tigers doing a much better job defensively, and Piedmont's helping things by 2 penalties, moving themselves back and setting up a third and long.
Tigers would like to hold him here and force the punt. On the 3rd and 22. Play action. Ellis looks left. Got a receiver out there. It's complete. It's been tackled immediately at the 36-yard line. That is Stokes with the completion. That will bring up fourth down.
Copley out there again in coverage as the Tigers were kind of caught in a no man's land situation. Copley had his good coverage, but the Tigers upfield had a man that was just kind of, which guy do I've got? They only had one defender, and fortunately they went after Copley's guy and stopped him short of the first down.
So it'll be 4th and 10. And Piedmont looks to be in a punting situation from their own 37-yard line.
Number 17,
Awaiting the snap.
to receive for Guymon.
Tigers put a single man back, punts away. And so Lowe takes a bit of a Piedmont roll inside the Tiger 40 and will be killed at the Tiger 38-yard line. That's a punt of 25, and punt game has not been really kind to either team here in the early going.
Not a real strong showing by the two punters on their first opportunities. That had nice height to it, but no distance to it to speak of. So the Tigers will have very reasonable position to start their second opportunity offensively.
They give it to them at the 37, so give them an extra yard on the punt. 1st and 10 Tigers from their own 37. Two backs with Santos, two receivers, two to his left, one to the right-hand side. Direct snap, handoff, coming right now, coming back to the left, and out across the 40, 43-yard line. That is Drew Winter. Decent run there for him. He'll pick up the better part of nearly 700 yards.
An unusual run by Drew Winter. He had room to the outside, but chose to turn it straight up the field. And turned out he saw a hole that I couldn't see.
Yeah.
And ran right for a nice run.
Give him 6, 2nd and 4. Low, slow developing play. And the Tigers will be dropped for a loss, and they're lucky, Todd, that they didn't have the turnover.
Oh my gosh. Elijah Cavanis comes through on the right-hand side, and he almost gets there before the exchange from quarterback to running
Your
back.
Wildcat defense.
Loss of 4.5. So 3rd and 9 Tigers. Direct snap, now the pitch going to the left. Piedmont all over it will be dropping the Tigers for a loss of some frustration from Winters.
Oh, late flag.
Yeah, I think they're going to get him for pounding the ball, and we're going to see some sort of unsportsmanlike foul. Could be wrong. We'll see what the situation is.
Definitely came way after. Not a whole lot of hang time on it, so I don't think it was too egregious of a penalty, but definitely has to be a dead ball foul. They'll take their time to give us the preliminary signal. Now they're just going to pick it up and call it good.
Nope, no flag. They wave it off. So the Tigers 4th down and 12 after the 3-yard loss there, and the punt unit off.
Maybe Jovan can get a little better footing to it this time.
Counting down the last couple of minutes of this first period. Snap is back, punts on the way. Much better punt.
Oh, there we go.
Like I said that first time, Piedmont didn't put any back. No one back. It'll roll dead inside the 25, down at the 24.
They only had 10 guys out there, Mike. That's why.
Wow.
I'm like, how can you miss that? Only 10 guys on the punt coverage.
Diamond Tiger football brought to you in parking lot by Phipps Dental. Phipps Dental creating smiles, impacting lives, and getting it done. Piedmont 1st and 10 after the punt. From their own 43-yard line. They punt out 41 yards. Considerably better, but I believe, remember that first punt, I think there's a real chance that one of the Piedmont Wildcats got a finger on it.
Right. I heard you say that, but I didn't process
Well, I'm not sure that they did either, but it looked like, I mean, there was a kid right there that Piedmont on 1st down. New running back, stretches to the left, got a big seam, got a great tackle, off the 45, to the 50, to the 45, 40, 35, and down to the Tigers. 31-yard line with the carry. The new running back for the Wildcats is Parker Smith. And Smith goes to the big runners. They're going to really down and the Tiger territory.
I believe that was Alex Sappington. He was able to finally catch up to him. But he did a great job of turning to the inside as the Tigers sealed off the outside, turns it straight up the field, and runs a long way.
47 yards on the game, down to the 30. Wildcats with the 1st and 10, and that turns the field around in a hurry.
Oh man, a heartbreaker for the Tigers.
Three
Things
running
stand up.
backs, reverse bone, if you will. Give it off. Coming to the left, this is White to the 30. Take it out of bounds here on the near side at the 25. It's a pickup of 5, second down.
No, that's Coakley who comes up to make the stop for the Tigers defensively. Landon White is a fun runner to watch. He's not a big kid. I don't know that he's particularly fast. I mean, he's got some speed, but he's just a very efficient runner.
Well, I think you pointed to that absolutely correctly, Todd. The thing that he appears to bring to the game that is really virtually uncoachable is that vision, keeping his eyes up and seeing what the play is before it happens, as it develops. That's tough. Low snap but controlled. And White just kind of a power run to the left-hand side and inside the 20. Flag on the play. White gets down near the 15, but let's see what the flag is.
Probably going to be holding. Comes into that point right through where White came through. Might be a reason that hold became so large.
Down to just 30 seconds left here in this first period.
What? Really?
Yeah. Personal foul? Is that what I saw?
I didn't. I was looking at you incredulously. That you're right. There's only 29 seconds left here in the first quarter. It's against Piedmont. Personal foul.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Anything we can get.
Oh my lands.
Mark it back to the 39 at the 15 yards on the penalty.
Second and 19.
And it will be now second down and 19. They've got to go from the 39 to the 20 to convert on this particular set of downs. 21 seconds left in the quarter. Piedmont might be willing to let this quarter run out. Looking at the play clock, looks like they're going to have to snap the ball before the quarter runs out. Ellis in the gun, 2 running backs with him on the second and long. Counter play, and it is effective. Moving across to the left. And down inside the 30 to the 27, maybe the 26 for the Wildcats. That is Jacob Bakewell with the carry on the second down.
Coakley comes up to make the stop.
We'll step aside. Piedmont leads 7-zip. More coming after this timeout. You're listening to Tiger Football on KKBS, the boss.
36 for the Wildcats.
7-0 our score here at the end of first quarter of play with Piedmont on top and threatening with a 3rd down and 6 now from their Tiger 26-yard line. 3rd down, low snap, controlled by Ellis, handoff. This is Bakewell, got running room, got a flag on the play. Bakewell, if they give him the play, easily has the 1st down inside the 20, marked at about the 17, but hold on, yet another penalty play. Holding is the call, it sounds like.
Here's your just a couple of stats from the first quarter. Piedmont, 155 yards total offense, 19 passing, 136 yards rushing. Tigers, 13 yards of offense, 8 yards passing, and 5 yards rushing.
There's 4 yards rushing on the play and then minus 10 on the hold as they mark it from the 22 back to from the 23 back to the 33. So we're playing 3rd down now again. 3rd and essentially 13 for the Wildcats from the Tiger 33-yard line.
3 penalties against Piedmont in that first quarter for 30 yards. Tigers only 1 penalty for 5 yards.
Wildcats come to line on 3rd and 13. Man in motion. Timeout taken by the Wildcats. We'll step aside with them. Back after this, you're listening to Tiger Football on KKBS, the boss. Back in Piedmont, 11:27 left in the second quarter with the Wildcats leading 7-zip. They've got a 3rd and 13. Guymon Vision Clinic, Dr. Mac Johnson and staff wishing the Guymon Tigers the best this season. Bringing you Tiger Football here on KKBS. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Mike Patterson, Todd Singletary, alongside Carly Blue is somewhere around.
Yes.
Filming. 3rd and 13, Piedmont from the Tiger 33. Play action from Ellis. Now rolls right, looks right, passes out there. It's complete at the 20 and taken down there. It should be well short. I don't know. I said it's very
really
close. By the time he finished up, very close.
I think you're right. I think he's short. No, I don't know.
I don't either. C.D. Smith.
They're saying
It's
short.
4th down, but it looks like Piedmont, another surprise here. Piedmont going to go for it. 4th and less than a yard.
Take their time and make sure that everybody looks down the line and make sure they are short.
That's your own fault. You asked for forgiveness.
I think they're going to take a look at it.
Can he bring the sticks on? I'll tell you what, I'm not sure he is short. And they bring the
I
sticks
think
from
he's about an inch short.
Gonna stretch it out. We'll see.
What'd you say?
Right at the 20-yard line.
He's got it by half a foot off.
That is good for a Wildcat. First and 10.
Of course, the markers are across the way, and hard for us to tell at the angle. Hard enough for them to tell just looking down the line. But it's enough, and they get the first down.
So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats
First and 10 for the
from the Tiger 20-yard line. Just underway second quarter here. Piedmont leading 7-zip. Tigers defense has been on the field quite a bit now with this drive. One other early drive too was lengthy. Handoff and the Tigers defense stuffs Landon White. Loss of a yard back at the 21. He could not get his legs going there, Todd.
No, because the Tigers were in the backfield doing a great job of busting that up, getting back there and not allowing Mr. White to find any lanes at all because he was just hunting for air.
Loss of a couple back to the 22. 2nd and 12. Good defensive play for the Tigers there. Piedmont in the huddle. Breaks the huddle. They send receivers one each direction. 2 running backs there with Ellis for the Wildcats. Direct snap. Handoff. Counter play. Goes to
Tigers have the ball.
stole it out. Stealing it away. Fumbling it. And the flag, double flag. And Tigers slow to get up here right in front of us on the near side, Todd. Lots of activity on that play. Tigers have a fumble recovery and return. Should have the ball at the 23, but wait, 2 flags. Clearly, as that play was developing at the end in post-possession change, so the Tigers should retain the football.
Most assuredly.
We'll just have to see what the situation is vis-a-vis the penalty.
Tigers doing a great job. That was White carrying it, wasn't it? Or the right-hand side.
White with the carry, yes.
And it got twisted around. Personal foul against Piedmont is the preliminary signal. Dead ball, 2 personal foul penalties against Piedmont is the call.
They're going to give White 2 yards on the carry.
It'll be personal foul.
Before the fumble recovery.
Right.
Wildcats.
And then they'll mark this off from about the 21, 22-yard line. And if it's the double personal foul, this penalty is huge. It is massive.
And that is exactly what they're doing. They're marching off 30 yards and moves the ball into Piedmont territory. And the Tigers defense does a great job there. Boy, that's huge.
Yeah, it moves it to the Piedmont 48. A 30-yard penalty. You never see that. A double personal foul and they mark off 30 yards.
It's pretty rare to see that. It may be in the years that we've been doing this, I maybe have seen that once.
So 1st and 10 Tigers as they flip the field because of the penalty and the turnover. They've got 1st and 10 from the Piedmont 48. Tigers have a real opportunity here. Low snap. Santos digs it out. Passes swing out to the right, and that might be live indeed if the official sees it as a lateral instead of a pass.
And that is indeed what they're saying.
So that counts as you're scoring at home. That's a fumble. And a loss back to the Tiger 48. It's a loss of 4.
Tigers very fortunate that ball went out of bounds when it did.
So 2nd and 14 after the fumble on the lateral that they can't hold in. Direct snap, play action. Santos in trouble immediately, and he's going to be sacked. It's just a couple of things are going on here when these situations have occurred, and 2 or 3 times in this game. Situation number 1, linemen can't hold their blocks long enough to give Santos the time, and the play is slow to develop. Those two factors come together, and it's just a killer.
It's an absolute killer because the offensive line is completely breaking down. They're just barely taking up space. No offense to the young men out there. I know they're trying hard, but
Piedmont Wildcat
is eating
defense.
them up right now.
Third down and a long way to go. They've got to go from the Tigers from their own 40 to the 38 in Piedmont territory. That's a 3rd and 22. And right where I can't see what's going on.
Uh-oh. We got a post.
Santos direct snap. Big pressure coming from his left. Ball is out at Piedmont. Well, maybe still
It's
alive.
still alive.
You can see it squirt out. I think the Tigers may have gotten back on it. Piedmont said they got it, and the officials agree. Piedmont recover.
Just huge pressure coming from the outside that time on Santos, and he's able to step out of it. But at the last second, one of the Wildcats is able to get a hand in and knock that ball loose. And Piedmont somehow finds their way on top of it. The Tigers give the ball right back, but they get about 20 yards back out of it.
Piedmont returns to the field with a 1st and 10. Hey, Tiger football on KKBS brought to you by Subway. Savor something different every day. Just ask for the $3.50 sub of the day at Subway restaurants. Piedmont 1st and 10 from the Tiger 40 after the fumble recovery. Low snap. Ellis controls, wants to throw down the middle, got a man, got a completion. Nice sliding catch at the 20 for the Wildcats. Pulling it in is Easton Hensley, and he did a job.
He did, because the pass was a bit thrown behind him, but he just goes into a slide and it's low enough. He was able to haul it in. The Tigers had solid coverage, but just couldn't make the adjustment for the bad pass.
Down to the Tiger 19 quickly. Piedmont to the line to run a play. They do. Running play to the right-hand side. This is White on the 1st down. And he's got decent yardage, about 4 down to the 15-yard line, and it ends up 2nd down.
White's pretty strong there, as he had a host of Tigers there to greet him. He was able to push the pile and get some positive yards.
They did it. Yep. To the 15. 2nd and 6. Here in the 2nd quarter, 8:14 left before halftime. Piedmont leading 7-0 in what has been a competitive ball game.
It has, but Piedmont is the only one that's been able to move the ball offensively.
Hand off on the swing to the right-hand side. Tigers defense strings it out very well, and they'll drop the running back for a loss of a yard. Carrying the ball there for the Wildcats was Parker Smith.
Coakley, along with Sanchez, making the stop defensively for the Tigers there.
3rd down for Piedmont. From the 16, they've got to get it to just inside the 10 to convert.
Tigers starting to figure out these stretch plays by the Wildcats, and that's going to be helpful for this Tiger defense, because the Wildcats have found room to the outside, but it's primarily been those counter plays that have been really productive for them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Fullback goes in motion. Ellis will do a quarterback keep it on the left side across the 10. To the 5, driving, and he'll go in. Noah Ellis goes in from 16 yards out. Tigers didn't have the answer for the QB.
No, the Tigers didn't have a man on him. They were looking for White, and White didn't have the ball. Ellis keeps it himself and gets a good series of blocks, and then just drives it in for the last 5 all on his own.
Metters again to kick the extra point. Tanner Knight the hold for the Wildcats as they score with 7:10 left in the 2nd quarter. Awaiting the snap on the extra point attempt. Snap is back, hold is down, and kick on its way. And it is good. Piedmont leads 14-0, 17 left before halftime. We'll step aside back with more after this. You're listening to Tiger Football on KKBS The Boss. Back in Piedmont, Oklahoma, where the Wildcats lead the Tigers 14-0. PTCI, they're extending their hot summer double your data, double your phone deal until October 31. On select smartphones, if you buy one phone, you get a second one free. And you can also get a 2, 5, 10, or 15 gig data plan, and PTCI will double the data for the same increasable low price. PTCI bringing you Tiger football tonight. Here from Piedmont, Oklahoma. Dylan Metters to kick off for the Wildcats. Tigers looking for some offense, down by 2 scores. Long kick. through the hands of the Tigers and into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. 1st and 10 Guymon from their own 20-yard line. Todd, what does the Tiger team got to do to move this football?
They've got to find an offensive line that can block. I mean, that's just been decimating every play you would have seen. The Tigers have 1 yard of offense so far in this ball game. Piedmont has 215 yards. The only savior for the Tigers has been the penalties. 6 penalties for 70 yards against Piedmont. That's been a big factor in keeping this score down, but the Tigers just got to make some blocks.
Low snap, handoff. We're going to try and stretch this to the left. Winters turns it up from the 20 out to the 23. He'll pick up 3. It'll bring up 2nd and 7.
That's a lot of work and a lot of running, but at least it's 3 yards that the Tigers didn't have.
He's brought down by number 6, Austin Mitchell.
Well, they gave him a nice spot, gave him 4 yards. A little better than I thought. So 2nd and 6 for the 24. Stacking the running backs behind Santos, and they'll put 2 receivers out to his right, single receivers coming to the left up the near side from where we are here in the press box. Handoff and an immediate tackle. Ball may have come out again. Looked like Santos looked like it was coming out, but Guymon apparently retains the possession. No gain, maybe a loss there, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Tigers just giving things up on the inside, and Wildcats are in the backfield so quickly that the backs cannot even start taking a look down the field.
You got to better prepare for impact, Todd, if you're playing along that offensive front, because it's coming on every play. 3rd down, Tigers, and 8
Let's
yards
get
to
last
go.
your Piedmont defense.
Snap is bobbled, ball's on the ground, and Santos will be sacked back inside the 15-yard line.
Jacob Santos is
Hunt time for the Tigers.
Tigers at that time tried to focus their pressure up front on the inside, and unfortunately the pressure came from the outside, and Santos was in trouble almost immediately.
Well, the rhythm of the play also off because the snap was low and he was trying to dig it out. By the time he was able to get control of the ball, blue shorts all over the place.
Number 18, Riley.
So back in the 15 is where it's marked. So 4th and 15, and the Tigers, as we said, punting away. Punts away. Going to be fielded through a Piedmont Wildcats' hands at the 48 in Piedmont territory, and essentially no return there. Good coverage there by the Tiger punt unit. But Piedmont with good field position at their own 48-yard line after the punt.
Coy Pretty returning that for the Wildcats. Looked up just a little too soon and didn't have the ball just yet. Had to regather.
37-yard punt for the Tigers, no return. Piedmont 1st and 10 from there. Let's call it their own 48. Between the 48 and 49. 5 minutes left in the half. Piedmont leading 14-zip. The Wildcats going back on offense.
Tigers going to have to find something defensively, find that turnover, and get some points to that direction.
Ellis hands off to White. He'll go to the left side. Looks like they got him at about a 2-yard gain, and then he just piles forward and picks up some more yardage in the Tiger territory. White's forward progress blown down at the Tiger 46. It's a pickup of 6 yards. Doesn't look like he's going to get 6 when he hits the hole.
No.
And then he does.
I'd like to tell you how big of a young man he is, but unfortunately,
He's just not.
no, he's not very big, and we didn't get any height or
Yeah,
weight
he's
on
got
him.
sort of that something. Yeah, somewhere. I got to find it, but I got it.
Okay.
Counterplay, right side, across the 40, powerful running. Could have much more than he needed for the first down. That is again Wiley. He'll get inside the 30 down to the 39 in Tiger territory.
Tigers had significant contact with him short of the first down. But White is such a powerful runner that he just keeps driving the pile, and he gets another 5 yards after contact.
Well, I lied to you. It doesn't have it. You're right. It doesn't have it. Thought I did. No height, no weight. I can tell you that they list his jersey. I can tell you this. They list his jersey as a large.
And he's a senior. And that's all.
That's about what we know. White starts to the center, then Jenner steps his way to the left and across the 35. Down to the 33. It's a pickup of 6.
Jonathan.
Not fancy,
Diamond 33.
but effective.
Very efficient running, great blocking up front. And he makes his line look good.
2nd and 4. Wildcats content to run, content to chew some of the rest of this clock up here in the second quarter, and content to hold on to this 14-point lead. Ellis in the shotgun, single running back is White off of his left hip. Put a man in motion from right to left. Flags fly, play blown dead prior to the snap. The clock ran out.
Yes, sir.
So this procedure. Mark it back another 5, back to the 38. Looks like second down from there. Tiger football brought to you on KKBS by Guymon Car Washes, Typhoon Illusion, and Rainmaker. Visit your Captain Car Washes today. Bring out the best in your ride. Show your pride. The Typhoon Illusion on 12th and the Rainmaker on 8th in May. 2nd and 9 for the Wildcats from their 38-yard line. Or the Tiger 38-yard line, I should say. Play action, pass complete to the right-hand side. Nice broken tackle and on his feet inside the 30. Down inside the 28 for the Wildcats. Corey Pretty with the reception. And that should set up another first down.
I believe that was Sanchez who came in to make the tackle as Huckins missed him first time. Sanchez brings him down finally, but it is enough for a first down. As Wildcats are trying to tack on a little bit more to their lead.
Pick up a 15 and moving the sticks down to the 23. Clock rolling at 2.5 left before halftime. Piedmont out 14-zip. Metters goes in motion. Starts right, then comes back left. White gets the block from Metters and cuts inside of the block, inside the 20, inside the 15. Textbook way to draw up the play. And it'll be close to a first down. In fact, not even close. It is a first down.
Metters really had a nice block there on the right-hand side, just sealed up that side, and White could turn it up the field and get very nice running there.
Give him 10 exactly to the 13, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. We'll go under 2 minutes before they snap the ball here.
That's a lot easier.
Coming out of the huddle, White, the lone running back with Ellis. And then the receivers right and left. Metters in motion. White escapes out of a trap and then inside the 10, down to the 5, inside the 5, close to another first down. Perfect example, Todd, of what you talk about in terms of what this kid does, keeping his head up and seeing what's going to happen and then stepping out of the trap and making it into a positive play.
He saw that that right-hand side was all balled up. Tigers got a huge push off their left-hand side. And so White just takes a step back, looks, and finds the crease over the left-hand side, turns it up the field, and gets another, not quite to the first, not quite.
It looks like it's about a half a yard shy. It had to get to the 3. It's somewhere between the 3 and the 4. Call it 2nd and 1. And with the ball officially marked at the 4, but it's just inside the 4 yards. Under a minute left when they snap this here in the first half. Ellis in the gun. Metters in motion. Handoff. White. Got a seam. Got a touchdown.
Great stutter step by White, and just waiting for his blocks to create space. And just keeps those feet moving, and once he sees what he wants, then he attacks and is in that hole so fast and goes in standing up.
7-play, 52-yard drive there for the Wildcats for their 3rd touchdown of the night. All of their touches coming from this running back who's having a very, very good night for Piedmont. Extra point attempt to come here. Snap is back and controlled. It's on its way. And it's good. Piedmont leads 21-0, 58 seconds left in the first half. Step aside right now. We'll be back with more Tiger football. You're listening to KKBS, The Boss.
Number 18, Riley.
58 seconds before halftime. Piedmont leads 21-0. Guymon awaiting the kick to start this next possession. KKBS.com. You can find area scores right now on KKBS.com. It's a mobile-friendly site. That's what's handy for tonight is on the KKBS mobile app. We've placed a widget link for area scores. Also during the week, make KKBS.com your homepage. You can find the things that matter to you locally, like meetings, agendas, and minutes, including Guymon School Board, City Council, those kinds of things on KKBS.com.
Landon White having a pretty nice first half, as
Yep.
you indicated. 18 carries, 116 yards.
Kickoff is a line driver, and then a pitch back. Here come the Tigers on the return to the far side. Gets a pretty good block. Still, Piedmont stopping the return at about the 22. Tigers will be starting with this possession there.
When you hear everybody in the press box
Go,
go,
ooh.
you know you've seen
Something happened. It was a nice block out
It
there.
was.
Somebody might feel that.
So whale of a hit.
First and 10 Tigers call it from their own 23-yard line. 51 seconds left in the half. Tigers will get the ball to start the second half, I believe. Low snap. Santos in trouble. Gets the pass away. High and outside. Incomplete. Just a bit outside. Right. Thank you, Bob.
It'll be second and 10 for Guymon.
Saw an interview with him recently.
48
Really,
seconds left.
you know, he's just one of those guys that if you enjoy beer, you'd really like to sit down with that
Oh,
man
absolutely.
and just toss back a few and just hear the stories.
Second and 10. Euchre was always a better performer than he ever was a ball player.
Sure. I think you might admit that too.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's a heck of a storyteller. 3 wideouts to the left, 1 right single running back. Santos with some trouble, and he'll be dropped back inside the 20 on the sack. Jacob a little slow to get up.
Rodriguez.
He's taken some hits tonight as Piedmont has spent more time in the backfield than he has, as Piedmont takes their timeout, second timeout.
You're making the ball back. We'll step aside. Back in 30 seconds. You're listening to KKBS, the boss. 21-0, Piedmont on top of the Tigers. We've got 39 seconds before halftime. Hey, City Bank and Trust Company celebrating their 115th birthday through September 30th. So I guess I guess they're done celebrating.
Wildcat fans, let's pump up your Wildcat defense.
but let's assume they're still celebrating. Anyway,
I'm sure they're still
they got a
happy about it.
1.15% CD. You need to go see them at City Bank and Trust with their birthday special.
Oh, nice catch.
Tigers complete. Big gain out to the right-hand side into Piedmont territory. Down inside the 40. And the
Gets out
Tigers
of
have a
bounds.
little bit of life.
Boy, what a great grab. Just going up and getting enough fingers on it to haul it in. Was that Huckins?
Couldn't tell. All the way on the other side. Down to the Piedmont 38. I'll give you the yardage here in a minute. Santos wants to throw, is in trouble. He'll get positive yards, but just a couple. Down to 18 seconds left in the quarter, in the half. Timeout taken by the Tigers. We'll step aside as well. Back in 30, you're listening to KKDS tomorrow. Well, we're back in Piedmont, where it was a bit chillier today, Todd. Did you notice it was a bit chillier
I
today?
noticed that I considered a jacket this morning. Didn't need it, but it was something to think of.
Winter coming. Winter is coming, my friend. Fake pitch from Santos on the second down. He'll be dropped for a big sack, but a flag at the end of the play. We may get a roughing
Face mask holding
against Piedmont.
That makes no sense. Holding
Maybe.
against Piedmont is the preliminary signal, but maybe it was face mask.
Now it's going against Guymon.
That makes sense.
Wow.
That really adds insult to injury. You take a sack for
Yeah.
13 yards, and then you add another 10 yards on top of that.
Now they're going to mark the sack ends right at the 50. They say the hold happens at the 47 in Piedmont territory. They're going to decline this. Yeah. Take the play. Take the down. 11 and a half seconds left.
Maybe holding against the offense. Piedmont inclines
So that's a loss of 13 back to the 50 on the sack, and the Tigers third down on a
Let's
long way
get
to go.
loud
Got
for
to go
your
from the 50
Wildcat
down
defense.
to the 28. A third and 22. Santos, direct snap, pitch to the right. They blew the play dead. No play. Timeout taken. Is that what I'm saying?
Apparently, Tigers got it off.
Yeah, coaching staff's on the field over here.
Right.
Timeout taken. We'll take it with them as well. Clock is out of time.
Right. They got it off just before the clock went out, but apparently the timeout was called before then.
So Nathan, hang on. We're not going to send it to you just yet. We're going to see if we can sort this out, if it's halftime or if we've got one more play.
Some discussion amongst the Zeros, and now they're going to come over, and it is a timeout against Guymon before the clock ran out.
They're saying 1.9 seconds here in the booth, and that's what they put back up on the clock. So the Tigers with a 1.9 seconds, and will be facing third down and 22. Third and 22. And don't forget the big bad shot gun show, 15th and 16th of October at the Texas County Fairgrounds. But I'll tell you more about that as we get even a little closer. That's just now a week or so away, so stay tuned. Third and 22 Tigers. There's just a couple of ticks left on the clock here before halftime. Single running back for Santos. Direct snap to him in the shotgun. Pressure. Steps up. Santos heaves to the right-hand side. Into double coverage, and it is either incomplete or interception. Depends if he landed in or out of bounds. The officials aren't going to tell us because that's the end of the half. Maybe it was an INT.
I think it was. I think he had a speed in. But your guess is as good as mine.
That's it. It's halftime. The Tigers trail 21 to zip to the Piedmont Wildcats, and we'll step aside back with the halftime show after this. You're listening to KKBS The Boss.
Or we can just fill in with some other stuff.
Okay. Something to do. Give y'all a holler.
Yeah.
Great. Anything else for us tonight? Okay. First Mondays of the month.
We just had our last one.
So next month is on the first Monday of December.
There's a lot of math.
That's right. We need it.
Suddenly, I felt heat on the side of my head, and a tremendous cloud of smoke was pouring upwards. Some parts having brilliant shades of yellow, like the sun had just erupted. At this time, I believe I exclaimed, "My God, it worked!"
The effects could very well be called unprecedented, magnificent, beautiful, and terrifying. No man-made phenomenon of such tremendous power had ever occurred before.
He knew the world would not be the same. Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent.
that feeds back so that it's going over hours, I can't tell you. But it's not.
I think they were watching on TV.
No, Chris isn't watching on
Oh,
TV.
she's not
I don't
watching.
think so. Maybe.
Maybe the Sooners and
That's
the
closer.
Longhorns.
Yeah. Red River rivalry cranks up for another year tomorrow. Kickoff at 11 o'clock. Maybe be able to hear it now on a station that you and I might know.
Absolutely, right here on KKBS.
Sooners and the Longhorns. That is a great just experience to be there in the Cotton Bowl with it divided right down the middle.
And it is literally
Crimson and cream on one side and burnt orange and white on the other.
111th game
Yeah,
that they have played.
it's a heck of an experience. You and I've done that.
Yes, we have.
And it is fantastic. Kickoff is on the way. We've got a second half. Short kick through the receiver's hands. And he'll finally pick it up and go backwards for a minute and then try to get the return on. Tigers will have 1st and 10 on their possession to start the third quarter from the 21-yard line.
You thought for just a second maybe the Tigers would get something there because those are the kind of plays that can really turn out to be pretty good because it throws out the timing for the kickoff team, but good coverage there by the Wildcats.
Tigers will have it at their own 22. 1st and 10. They needed a Vesuvius of scoring, an explosion, volcanic explosion to get back into this ballgame.
That would be good.
It would be good. 1st and 10 Tigers. Santos in the gun with receivers both ways. High snap, and he's in trouble immediately. And Santos tackled back inside the 20. I'm telling you what, Tigers can't find the timing to make this work.
No, and I don't know if Jacob was just looking off. It got back there pretty quick, but it was in his grill before he had any idea.
Loss of 5 back to the 17. So 2nd and 15 to call. Santos again in the gun. Long way to go. Handoff. Tries the right side. Gets a little bit of it back. Not a lot of running room there. Maybe to the 19. We assume that's Drew Winter with the carry.
Yep. Yeah, it's Mr. Winter. Looked like he had more room than that. They don't give him much.
Fans, let's get loud for your Wildcat defense.
3rd and a long 13. Maybe 14. They gave him a yard on that carrying time.
Yeah, I thought he had about 3 yards.
Not very favorable, was it?
No.
3rd and 14 Tigers from their own 18. Play action. Santos in trouble. Santos dropped back inside the 15. Loss of 4, perhaps 5. I'll tell you what. Just don't have the time to get set up.
He's just got to be a little gun shy when he goes back there because he knows the pressure's coming and they're getting to him so fast. It's crazy. It's like the Tigers don't even have anybody up there. I mean, they're just running right at him.
It's like Piedmont's going to come after this. Snap is back. Punts away. One man back. Bounces. Taken. Nope. They'll let it roll. Piedmont lets it roll dead inside of Piedmont territory at the 47. And that is where the Wildcats will take over after the punt.
That's a very fine kick there by Jovan. Gets it back at least on their side of the field. As Piedmont will come out with their first offensive possession. See if the Tigers make anything adjustments defensively. See if they can shut down Mr. White, who had a whale of a first half.
What did you say that he came up with? What was his rushing yardage?
That's like 140 yards, I think.
Piedmont comes from the sideline. Hey, Tiger football brought to you by State Representative Casey Murdoch. He is fighting for Panhandle value.
116.
There you go. That's 116 yards rushing
Yes.
for the first half for Landon White for the Wildcats. Direct snap, handoff to White on the counter. Got running room to the left side. Got the first down into Tiger territory, inside the 40, and down to the 38 Tiger territory. It'll be first down, Piedmont.
White is not the fastest cat out there, and I don't mean that to be too crass. I mean, but he just is determined and gets great blocks, and he is in the secondary before you know it.
17 yards on the carry, down to the Tiger 37, and Piedmont back on the move here in the early going of the third quarter. First and 10, Piedmont from the Tiger 37. Handoff. White in trouble. And he breaks 2 tackles, and then more Tigers take his hat off. They blow the play dead. White actually, well, I haven't said this very much tonight. He's going to lose yardage back to the 41.
That was a great job by the Tigers defense. They absolutely blew that play up. And they were back there harassing White very quickly. He's able to get away from the first 2, but cannot get away from the next 2.
Third and call it 14. Just underway, third quarter, 8:59 left in the third period. 21-0. Piedmont leads by 3 scores. 2 receivers will split left. Metters will set up on the right-hand side. And here we go on the second down. Metters in motion from right to left, then back to his right. They blow the play dead. It'll be almost certainly some sort of procedure call.
Dead ball procedure.
Bakewell. Bakewell looked like the guy that was going to get the handoff, but the play blown dead.
Another penalty against Piedmont. They had 70 yards of penalties. They had more than that. They had, I guess that's right, 70 yards of penalties in the first half.
Mark the 5 yards off. It'll put it back at the 46 and bring up second down, and they've got to go to the 28 for the first. So second and 18 for the Wildcats. Breaking the hole, they come to the line. Receivers right and left on the second and 18. Ellis to White, starts right, cuts back to his left. That's Bakewell, rather, with the carry, and he's got all of the yardage back on the penalties and the loss from the previous carry from White as he goes down inside the 35 to the 32.
13 yards.
He's a pretty nifty runner himself. White will come back into the game. Came out for that play.
3rd and 5 for the Wildcats. Metters comes to the sideline as well. Wildcats break the huddle in the second, or rather 3rd and 5 from the Tiger 32. Split wide out, 2 running backs for Ellis on the 3rd down. Hand off to Bakewell. Nope. Then they brought it back out and handed it off to White, and he is stuffed for no gain.
Dropped back at the 35-yard line. Once again, the Tigers they're going to mark him back at the 33-yard line.
Loss of a yard.
Tigers defensively much stronger in this series. They've given up a couple of big plays, but really they've had some nice plays.
4th and 6, the call. And the Wildcats not inclined to bring the punting unit on. A lot of discussion coming from the coaching staff here on the sideline for the Wildcats. A lot of discussion on the field amongst the Wildcats. 3 seconds on the play clock, they get it all. Ellis wants to throw. Flings it right, underthrows the intended receiver, and the Tigers have held on down.
Great job by the Tigers. A good solid coverage down the field and forced Ellis to just throw it basically into the ground. There was not a Wildcat in the area. And the Tigers will take over on downs.
Well, after a rough beginning to this drive where they did give up a couple of pretty big, 3 really big runs on that drive, the Tigers defense rises up and stuffs Piedmont and turns it over on downs. The Tiger offense on the field now. The question is, can they get something going after they were 3 and out on their first possession here in the second half?
And moving backwards.
Santos, handoff, little running room on that right-hand side across the 35 to the 36.
much quicker pace that time. That was not slow developing at all. Winter was attacking the line as soon as he got the ball. He was able to get positive
It
yards.
might have been Lagarda, Todd.
Oh, is Lagarda back?
Now look, it could look like it might be 21, but I can't swear to it. Handoff, left-hand side across the 40, out to the 43. Todd's going to pick up the binoculars and see if he can pick up the number.
That is Victor. Good eye.
Sometimes I get lucky.
I haven't seen Victor since week 1.
He gets it to the 44 for the first down. And here's another run, and he's got yardage out across the 50 in Piedmont territory, close to another Tiger first down.
Victor showing nice, strong, young legs as he hasn't had to take the pounding in the last few weeks. He has been on IR.
Gives him the first down. Not as much running room on this play as they tried the left-hand side. Maybe got a yard to the 45 before Piedmont stuffs the run. That is, I believe, Lagarda with his 4th straight carry. Yeah. 4 yards. 2nd and 9 from the Piedmont 45. Tigers quickly to the line. Santos, pitch, left-hand side, cuts inside the 45, down inside the 40. Nice running there by Lagarda as he's down to the 39 for a pickup of 6.
Lagarda really showing great strength there, spinning around, and has the looks of Mr. Landon White there.
Now Piedmont, nope, we've got an injured Piedmont player. That's what the timeout on the field is. We'll step aside, back in 30 seconds. You're listening to KKBS The Boss. Austin Mitchell comes to the sideline for the Wildcats as we come out of the injury timeout. The Tigers 3rd and 2 with the ball at the 38 in Piedmont territory. Tigers' best offensive drive in some time. Flag flies, play blown dead. Hold on.
Hate to see.
Yep, it's a procedure penalty against the Tigers. That's a killer.
Oh man, Tigers had 3rd and short, showed some life, and fortunately it's just 5 yards. Not a drive killer, but definitely changes what you think they would call.
Right, 3rd and 7 Tigers from the 43 in Piedmont territory. Direct snap, Santos flings it out to the right, got the completion, and maybe the first down on it as he goes out of bounds on the far sideline. Very, very close to the first down marker around the 35. The completion, I believe, that might have been, was that Purdy with the catch? Or Ochoa with the catch?
I think it was Jovan.
I'm hearing whistles here, hang on.
Yeah, I think the yardage markers assumed it was a first down, and they were
now they're
moving.
Yeah, now they're way
back.
off.
Where was it, guys? Now the down marker, he was right, but that doesn't really matter. You need to know what you need for the first down.
The guy gave him 5, and we knew it was close.
Oh, and a flag comes in with serious hang time.
What? What?
You would assume that that's it's on the far side of the field by the coaching Guymon sideline.
Look at where they've got the stick. They've backed the stick up a couple of yards off of what would have been the first down marker.
Yeah,
Coach, you can see Coach over there asking for an explanation about what's going on. And then the flag, I mean, that's just crazy.
That's a strange flag unless it's against the Tigers for interfering with the changing. That's about all it could be, in my estimation.
Yeah, and it came, certainly there wasn't a kid close to an official.
There wasn't anybody close to an official.
Now,
they're going to make the explanation to, nope, they're going to
I don't know they're looking at where the chain
yardage.
is. Yeah. I have the Tigers having to have to get to the 38 to get the first down,
which they're just short of. And now
the ball's on the 38. Look at where the first down marker is now. The first down marker is about the 35 and a half. It's moved. The discussion, I think, is where the chain was prior to the play. And coach has a legitimate gripe here.
Absolutely.
I think if you're watching this on KKBS TV, you absolutely know what we're talking about. And then if you're watching this on the replay on PTCI, you might be a little bit upset about that.
They're going to leave it the way it is and pick up the flag, apparently.
So 4th down and a couple, as the first down marker now has to be at the 36. Oh, they got him to jump.
Got him to jump. Nice job. Jacob doing a great job with that hard count. Draws the Wildcats off, and that'll move the chains.
Well,
And
I
they only
say
gave us 4.
more power to you
And they only gave us 4 yards
on the mark off.
on the mark off. Thank you.
OU wins, you gotta wear OU shirt to school on Monday.
So 1st and 10 Tigers,
Here's the bet. It's a heads up bet.
down at the 28. It's a little crazy. Handoff right into the gut of the defense
I'm telling you.
and down to around the 30.
Wear a Texas shirt to school. I don't have a Texas shirt.
It's a pickup of a couple.
I've lost this bet before.
Play started from the 33.
You can just
pick up
feel,
the 3.
you can feel the tempo. Oh, they move it back to the 31. Thank you again. You can just feel the tempo really pick up for the Tigers as
Low snap, not controlled. Santos just has to fall on it back at the 40. It's a loss from the 31 back to the 40.
but you just feel a different energy with Lagarda in the backfield, or at least for me. Just the timing seems better. He's hitting the holes quickly and moving the pile forward.
Yeah.
3rd down from the 40. They've got to go inside the 25. Call it 3rd and 17. Direct snap. Santos swing pass to the left side. Huckins with the completion. Gets down to the 30. He'll be about 6 yards shy of what he needed. And the Tigers will face another 4th down.
But much more manageable. They get a big chunk of those yards back plus a couple and set up a very manageable 4th down here.
So 4th down and call it 6. Here in the 3rd period with 3:12 left and Piedmont leading 21-0. Guymon's most sustained drive of the night.
Hands down, easily.
2 wideouts right, 1 left. Santos on the 4th down. Pumps one, throws underneath. Lagarda, I think with the completion out to the right side, looks like it's a 1st down. At about the 20.
Tigers also changing with leaving 2 backs in the backfield, as I think they blew the play
Yeah, I
dead.
thought I might have heard a whistle.
Thought I heard a whistle too, but they let the kids play on, and now again we have a meeting of the
Now,
minds.
let's get on the page here. Now, the lineman is telling them to go ahead and move the sticks. Now a flag way after it was all over. Holy smokes.
Coming from the line judge, as the referee will come over and visit with the head coach of Piedmont, Mr. Gosson, I believe.
Drew? Is that right?
Yeah.
That little guy,
So they moved the sticks after the 1st down conversion on 4th down and the play ending at about the 20-yard line with either Ochoa or Lagarda receiving out on that right side. I think it was Lagarda that slipped out and caught it underneath.
I think you're right. But the Tigers are leaving 2 backs in the backfield to kind of seal off those outside and give Jacob an opportunity to set up and get the pass away.
Man, this is an incredibly lengthy discussion with the coaching staff over here for Piedmont. And at some point I'm kind of going, call the play, let's go.
Right. I don't know that you need to take a 10-minute explanation. Make your call.
Our concession stand is really good.
Well, they're not going to pick the, well, I guess they could pick.
Well, they picked the last one up.
Thanks for supporting Piedmont football.
the last crazy one when they moved the chains to make it more difficult for the Tigers to get
It was
first down.
it was just bizarre. So if this stands, and I guess it will, unsportsmanlike conduct, the call against Piedmont. Very lengthy discussion. I don't know why they even needed that.
They'll take half the distance, move it down to the 10-yard line.
That should tell you something about your wrestling team whenever you have
Unsportsmanlike, that'll put it down just at the 10. Tigers will have first down from that point. And is it first and 10 or first and goal? It looks like it's first and goal.
Yeah, don't agree with that, but
Direct snap, Santos, hands off, left side, Lagarda, flags coming from the backside. Lagarda got down to the 7. We'll see what the flags are. Chop block. An emphatic signal from the headman.
and that's an ugly penalty. That's a 15-yarder that the Tigers do not need.
Take you right out of that scoring position pretty fast.
But the way the Tigers have been moving the ball on this drive, never say never.
I think he is the chop block offense. I think he's dealing
Chop block is the call. Moves the ball back to the 20-yard line.
What to do?
I thought it was a 15-yard
That's what I
penalty.
thought too. Hey, I'm not going to complain.
No.
The way this has been going, I'll take whatever I get. 2 wideouts left, 1 to the right, 2 running backs on the first and goal from the 20. Give it to Lagarda, trying to sweep right. Cuts inside, gets a yard or 2. Strung out very well by the Wildcat defense.
Right, they had pressure inside and they just went down the line as the Tigers will set up quickly here on the second down.
Going with some tempo. 2nd and goal from the 18. 2 wideouts to the left this time and 1 to the right-hand side. Direct snap. Santos wants to throw. Overthrown and incomplete to the right-hand side.
Looking for Jovan on the far side of the field. And way too tall even for 6'3".
I
Jovan Ochoa.
kind of wonder if Jacob thought he was going to break it and head toward the goal line, and it didn't happen. Timeout, take it on the field. We'll take it with them. Back after this, you're listening to Tiger Football and KBS The Boss. Back in Piedmont, 2 minutes left, third period. Piedmont leading 21-0. The Tigers, though, with their best offensive possession by far of the night, have run, I don't know, I'll have to count it up, a ton of plays on what has been a very successful drive. Panhandle Printing, they're moving and they're taking their visual concoctions with them. Starting in October, you'll be able to visit them on 4th and William Street in Guymon. Panhandle Printing, bringing you Tiger Football on KKBS tonight. Tigers with a 3rd and goal from the 18. 3rd and goal to go. Santos, direct snap, pumps once, now looks right, in trouble, and he'll be dropped back at the 21 for the sack. Just doesn't have time to make the pump and then throw the football.
No, you've got to make a commitment and get it down the field because he had time to get a pass away, which is kind of a novel event for Jacob here tonight. But the pressure gets him from the backside at the last moment, and now we'll see Javier try a field goal.
This will be from what would be a 37-yarder. It's nothing.
That's a Sunday afternoon breeze.
He'll certainly have, barring a high snap like that, certainly got the leg. And it's good. 37-yard field goal, and the Tigers are on the board with 1:11 left in the third. We'll be back. Guymon trails 21-3. And you're listening to Tiger Football on KKBS The Boss. 1:11 left in the third period. Guymon on the board on a 37-yard field goal. Todd Singletary has some score updates for us.
Kremlin Hillsdale at the half up over Balco 32-8. Tyrone over Buffalo 54-14. That is at the half. Woodward up over Eisenhower 13-10. That is in the third quarter. Hooker at the half over Thomas Bay Custer 14-10.
Here we are in the last 71 seconds of the third period for this ball game. Tigers getting on the board with a 37-yard field goal after their most successful offensive onside kick, and it is a sinker as it goes out of bounds. That essentially is a backwards kick as it goes out of bounds at the Tigers 32. Right idea, but boy, that did not go the way it was planned.
poorly executed. Great idea. Loved the idea of going with the onside. But it went about 5 yards forward and about 10 yards backwards with all on its own. Full spin action. I mean, he had the sand wedge laid into it.
Well, and the Guymon kids weren't exactly sure what they were supposed to do because it certainly didn't go the requisite 10 yards.
Right.
So, Coach, are we supposed to, but it goes backwards until we touch it? What do we do? What do we do?
You don't touch it.
Out of bounds, they rule it out at the 35.
Okay. That's acceptable.
I'm not sure the officials know what to do here. Because it went out of bounds. That was the penalty flag. You can't kick the ball out of bounds on a kickoff. So.
Right. But it went backwards. So do you still mark off the penalty? Yes. You mark off the 5 yards.
Yes.
It doesn't. Yeah, they're as confused as.
Yeah, Coach Piedmont, they wanted it to 32 where it went out of bounds.
Right. That would make sense. And then you get another 5 yards because it is a penalty. You have to be penalized.
I don't know, man. I think this might be one for somebody needs to dig in their back pocket and see if they got a rule book. I've never seen that. I've done this for a lot of years. I've never seen that.
I've never seen one go, but I don't think it matters if it goes forward or backwards.
Time out because of the discussion taking place. We'll step aside. Back in 30. You're listening to Tiger Football on KKBS The Boss. It doesn't matter where it goes out of bounds over here. It's not a 5-yard penalty. It's marked at the 35. Singletary and I are burning brain cells trying to figure out what this call is.
I quit. Whatever they call, perfect.
Well, again.
And they give it to them at the 35 and they're done. Piedmont takes the field.
I guess so. All right.
I don't think that'd do it.
I don't know.
I don't either.
Handoff, right side, big hole. That's the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and Landon White goes in from 35 yards out. How many times have you seen something like that happen when there's a break in the game because of whatever reason, and then the team comes right out and pops the big play?
And just hammers it right down the Tigers' throat. It's the Achilles heel for the Tigers tonight. It's the slant on the right-hand side. He gets a good seal block, and he just takes off, shows solid speed, and the Tigers can't catch him.
9 seconds after the Tigers score the field goal, 9 seconds of play clock anyway, and the Wildcats go in from 35 yards out in what may be the strangest play we'll see, or set of plays we'll see this year. Extra point attempt, snap is back, kick is on the way, it's good. 28-3 is our score, and once again we'll step aside. Back after this, you're listening to Tigers Football on KKBS The Boss. Ensuing kickoff after the touchdown from Landon White. Here come the Wildcats as they approach kickers in the air. Short, rolls though down to the 2, and the Tigers will return it on the near, or rather the far side from there. Out across the 20, and then out of bounds at the 22. The Tigers will start their 1st and 10.
Tigers got things going offensively on their last drive. Victor Lagarda comes in at the tailback position. In fact, created some life in this offense that had been really moving backwards from the opening kickoff. They had had a tough night. See if the Tigers can keep that momentum going and try to cut into this lead once again.
It was a 15-play drive, Todd. The Tigers had a 15-play drive that ended with the field goal.
That's impressive.
Tigers go on offense. Pass is batted down. Santos looking out to his left. The intended receiver, I think, was Huckins, but the pass batted out of the air. It's incomplete.
Christian Booker, I believe, defensively, bats that ball down from the right-hand side. And he's a pretty tall guy. He's got to be over 6 feet. He stands out there for that Piedmont defense.
2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass. Late going 3rd quarter here. 28-3, Piedmont on top. Direct step. Santos hands it to the running back. He'll try the left side. Not much there. Maybe getting back to the line of scrimmage. Brings up 3rd down. I think it's Drew back in the game with
swallowed up for no gain. He was brought down by multiple Wildcat defenders.
3rd and 10. They didn't go. I'm hearing some time work out there. Are you hearing some time work? 3rd and 9. Huckins in motion from left to right. Santos wants to throw in trouble. And he'll be dropped back inside the 15. And he is slow. Jacob's slow to get it.
Christian Glicker again coming, flying this time from the left-hand side. And he buries Santos with authority.
They're going to wheel him down at the 15. It's a loss of 8 on the sack, and the Tiger punt unit onto the field. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Piedmont leads 28-3. We'll step aside. We'll be back with the final period after this timeout. You're listening to KKBS, the boss. Yeah, they're going to start this. Need it back, Nathan, as quick as you can. We've got a fake punt, and the Tigers with a run to the left-hand side look like they have converted on a fake punt from deep inside their own territory. Nobody saw it coming, and the Tigers convert on a 4th down as they move the ball out to cross the 30. They real forward progress down at the 34. It's a pickup of 19 in the 1st down.
Can you say gutsy call?
Yeah.
Crazy call?
Yeah.
Effective
I don't know that
call.
I don't think it's a crazy call. You're down 25 points, 4th quarter. You've got a little bit of life from earlier in the quarter. But yeah, from your own 15.
You're at your own 15. It's crazy. But very effective.
2 wideouts with left, 1 right, 2 running backs. Pitch going to the run to the left-hand side. I think this is Lagarda back in at the running back spot. He'll pick up a couple.
Wyatt Rouse in on the stop for the Wildcats. Not a lot of room. Those plays just seem to take forever. They stand there. I mean, just go ahead and pitch it, get it out of his hands and let him start running. They stand there for just about a half a beat, make the exchange from a yard and a half apart, and then try to run it. It takes too long.
2nd and a short 9, long 8. Right up the gut, left-hand side, then the bounce out. Pickup of 2, maybe 3 yards out over there. 3rd down, Tigers, as the ball will move out to the 38.
Pretty sure that was Lagarda again.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And he just gets to the line so quickly, which is a good thing, by the way. A very good thing.
3rd down and 6. From the 38. Direct snap to Santos. Throws across the middle. Got the completion. 1st down and more. Across the far side to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, inside the 25. Piedmont territory. A solid blow. I believe that's Jovan with the catch and run, and a solid blow on the defender at the end of the play.
Yeah, he sized him up, measured him up, and he could put a suit on him, if he was a tailor. And he might be. I don't know. We'll need to find out. But he had a moment there and just reeled him at the end. And boy, Jacob Santos took a big hit right as he released that pass.
1st and 10 Tigers at the Piedmont. Bad snap way over the head of the quarterback, and he has to recover it back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 20 yards or so as that play originated from the 27.
Back to the 48-yard line. Now they're going to, okay. One judge said it was 48. You're going to say the 47, but still. Huge loss on the really high snap.
Everybody got a little too excited. So it goes to 2nd and 30.
2nd and 31.
You go from near red zone territory to back near midfield.
Tough break.
2nd down and 30. Santos wants to throw. Pitching complete to the left-hand side. Into Piedmont territory, inside the Piedmont 40-yard line.
Well-timed play as the secondary was laying off the wideouts, and that allowed Santos to set up, make that pass quickly to the outside. And get some nice yards there.
Get into the 39, it's a pickup of 8.
take 20 more right here, please.
Gotta have about the, actually gotta have about
Wildcat
one more.
fans,
Well,
let's
I'm
pump
just
up your
20 for
Piedmont
now.
20 for now.
Right. I'm not greedy here. I just want 20 yards here.
Call it 3rd and 22 for the Tigers. Early going 4th period. Trailing Piedmont. Santos, pitch to the right-hand side, is caught, but defended well by the Wildcats as he goes inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line with the catch was Garrett Danner.
Danner and Huckins are lined up on the far right-hand side. Huckins comes back to make a block as Danner gets back towards the middle of the field. But this Huckins couldn't get enough of a block, and that is going to set up now a really long field goal.
53-yard field goal attempt by Medina from the near hash.
Number 1.
We know he can do this.
Oh, yeah.
And number 7, Jacob Schwartz.
Huckins controls the snap. Flags fly, flags fly. No whistle apparently, but the flags are out all over the place.
Piedmont had to be offside because he was there standing waiting.
Well, you blow that play dead, didn't you?
Yes, you do. Unless you want to get somebody hurt. That's the way I saw it, at least.
Waiting for the officials to give us a signal. This play originated from the 36-yard line. They blow it dead inside Guymon territory at the Guymon 47. Oh, wow.
Oh, now
wow.
that changes everything.
Everything.
That's against Piedmont.
Personal foul, the signal. That's a 15-yard penalty, and dare I say it, as an automatic first down?
No.
It'll be a personal foul.
No.
Gonna set it
But it
down.
certainly changes the conversation here on 4th down.
Set it down at the 23.
They're going to go ahead and do the field goal.
4th and 4.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe you talk about that.
Javier Medina. Let's get loud for your Wildcat special teams.
Yeah, Guyman's going to.
Yeah, Guymon wants to talk about it. You got 4th and about 4. Guymon takes a timeout. We'll talk about it while they talk about it. We'll be back after this. You're listening to KKBS, The Boss. And we're back here in Piedmont where the Wildcats lead 28-3 over the Tigers. H&R Block, get part of the billion back. H&R Block in Guymon 12th and East Street. Stop in and get every dime you're entitled to. Sponsoring the Tigers here on KKBS this evening.
Couple of scores for you. Shattuck in the 4th quarter, 50-14 over Turpin.
There.
Hooker up over Thomas Fay Custer, 21-7.
Let's do a go for it.
Woodward up over Lawton Eisenhower,
Fans, get on your feet
21-10.
and get
That
loud
is
for
in
your
the 4th
Wildcat
quarter.
defense.
And Fairview,
Go ahead.
20-0 over here.
4th down. Tigers going for it. Pass complete to the left-hand side, but well covered tackle to throw it. Can't get to the first down. When Piedmont is held on 4th down.
Tigers made the right decision, I believe, in my estimation, Mike, that they should go for it. But unfortunately, Jovan just could not shake away from that one defender out there. As he was going to the far side of the field, he needed about another 3 or 4 yards.
Yep. Got a yard, needed 5. Piedmont holds, and we'll take over on downs with 7:48 left in the ballgame. Piedmont in control, 28-3 over the Tigers. Piedmont offense coming back onto the field. This has been a kind of a hard-nosed ballgame between these two.
Yeah, both teams have made some solid hits.
3 wideouts left. Ellis throws complete over the left-hand side. Tackle broken at the 30 to the 35-40. And the completion there on that left-hand side goes to Coy Pretty. I thought they had Pretty stopped at the 30, and then he turns it up, breaks the tackle, and gets out to the 42.
Well, they had him wrapped up. They had him bent over, but they never got his knees to the ground as we have a Tiger slow to get up. Back at the 30-yard line. Coach Richmond makes his way out to see who that is. But Pretty didn't hear a whistle, and so he just kept on going.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Garden City Community College, aged to perfection since 1919 and situated on the beautiful campus of 63 acres, GCCC affords students the opportunity to embark on their collegiate journeys without needing to venture far from home. Garden City Community College. We're going to break for an injury timeout. We'll step aside. Back in 30 seconds. You're listening to KKBS The Boss.
And we're back in Piedmont, where the Wildcats are up with 7:38 left in the fourth quarter, 28-3. Aaron Huckins, the injured Tiger, but he's able to get off to the sidelines by himself. Didn't appear to be too unstable there.
Thanks, Todd, for taking that out of the time. I was had a little bit of business back there and was taking care of.
Glad to help you with your business.
1st and 10, Wildcats from their own 42. Handoff, White through the seam on the left-hand side and then across the 45 to the 46, pick up a 4-second down.
Boy, that last play by Pretty was just really, really impressive. Not hearing the whistle and just keeps on going, gets an extra 10, 15 yards. And now Mr. White getting what seems like it's been forever since he touched the ball.
Yeah. Well, part of that's because it kind of took that huge chunk of time in the third quarter with that massive drive that ended with the field goal. It just ate up a bunch of clock. 2nd down. Play blown dead before they can get it off.
Offsides?
Yep.
No,
Procedure.
Procedure. Tigers were drawn offsides. Boy, I'm going to have to check this. Tigers have not had many penalties here tonight. Piedmont can't really see.
Nope. If there's a fly in Piedmont's ointment, that's it. Mark it back at the 41. After the 5 yards marked off. So 2nd down, essentially 10.
Tigers had 3 penalties for 25 yards.
That's, you'll take that.
Before this last one, 12 for 120
For
Piedmont.
Ellis throws deep, got a man in. He's got the completion to the 25, 20, 15, 10. Touchdown, saving tackle.
All the way down to the Guymon 3-yard line.
That was
Boy,
Sanchez.
woo!
Sanchez comes in there just at the last moment to bring him down.
Brings down the receiver. That was Corey Pretty. It looked like Pretty was going to the house, and he stopped just shy. And a slow, again, the Tigers slow to get up.
1st and goal for Piedmont, the Guymon 3-yard line.
He gets up, Coach Richmond gets out there and says, get up, son.
They're going to rule him down at the 3, Todd. So that is a 56-yard pass and run combo for the Wildcats. 6:05 of the wind the clock left in the ball game. 28-3 our score.
I believe that was Victor Sagala, the Tiger that was slow to get up, but he seems to be fine. Tigers forgot to replace him.
Apollo MedFlight, when seconds count, find them at kkbs.com or the mobile app and get a membership today. Apollo MedFlight, helping to bring you Tiger football here tonight from Piedmont, Oklahoma. Piedmont goes with the run, and the Tigers stuff that for no gain on the 1st and goal.
I was a little concerned because the Tigers seem to be having folks in the wrong places, but they right the ship and get the stop on White short of the touchdown.
5:16 and the clock continues to run. They did give White about a yard on the game, so 2nd and goal from the 2. And the Wildcats break the huddle. Direct snap. Give it to White, easily into the end zone.
Dances to the left, dances to the right, and then one step forward. In for the touchdown easily, Mr. Landon White.
With a touchdown coming at 4:56 left in the ball game from 2 yards out. Extra point attempts to come. Winning the snap on the extra point. Metters, the kicker. Snap is back. Flags fly. We'll be playing the extra point again. Procedure against Piedmont, the preliminary call. So they'll back him up 5, and they'll try the extra point attempt from a little bit deeper. Tigers at home next week with a stiff challenge. Conceivably, possibly, might be the best team they've seen all season. McGinnis.
It might be the best team we've seen in a while. Because any team that can do what they did to Carl Albert, tip your hat and
gotta
say,
respect that.
You better pay attention.
Extra point attempt now. We're going to reset from 5 yards deeper after the procedure call on the previous attempt. Another flag. Delay a game. Can you really believe that on an extra point attempt?
That'll be a delay of the game.
No, I can't. But honestly, the way it's gone tonight for Piedmont, as far as penalties go, sure. Tack on another 5.
See some strange stuff here tonight, man.
Yeah. You'd think it was October. We're at the end of October.
30-yard kick from
We, like I said, had a little Rocky Horror time warp going on from the band here in Piedmont just a few minutes ago. It's that time of year. Snap is back. No flags this time. And it's no good. All that. 34-3 will step aside back with the last 4:56 after this timeout. You're listening to KKBS The Boss. .56 left in the ball game. Piedmont leads 34-3 over the Tigers. And let's tell you about Pub on the Bricks. Great place to watch college or pro football all season long. They've got a new menu with your favorite taste, full bar, family friendly, and they are keeping it simple. Pub on the Bricks in the old Allens building in Guymon, and also at the Fountain in Liberal, Kansas, helping to bring you Tiger football here on KKBS this season. KKBS TV, find that on any device, including the mobile app. The presenting sponsor for KKBS TV events is Apollo Mid-Flight, and their contact info, as we told you moments ago, on the app as well. Piedmont to kick off with the lead 34-3. They will stretch their record to 4-2 with the win here tonight. High, end over end, and short. Taken by an up man at the 30, spinning. Oh, and pitching! Here comes the return on the left-hand side. Holy cow! Now finally tackled it in midfield. I'll tell you what, the Tigers full of surprises tonight. How about that?
And Jovan is walking over to the sideline as a flag comes in way late from nowhere near anybody. Yes, I believe that is going to be against Piedmont. I know you're going to be surprised because they were right next to the Piedmont. Oh, he's just going to pick it up. Maybe it just fell out.
Just kidding.
But boy, Jovan was so happy with himself because he was standing there and had his back turned. It's like, oh, here.
Take it.
And walks off with his hands in the air like, yeah, I got it.
1st and 10 Tigers from the 50-yard line. Waiting for the play. Here we are. Snap back. Pitch back. In trouble immediately. Santos pitching it back, and the running back not even having the time to see the light of day. It'll be a loss of 6. That's Winter, I believe, with the...
Yep. Drew it was immediately in trouble. Boy, the pressure coming off the left-hand side of Piedmont was there in a quick hurry.
Loss of 7 back to the 43 in Guymon territory, 2nd and 17. Handoff. Tigers will try the right side. And get a couple of back, but not a lot. Brings up 3rd down. Slow to unstack. And is Lagardo with the carry.
Have one final score in. Shattuck defeats Turpin 62-14. Boy, I did not see that one coming.
3rd and 16 for Guymon.
Woodward up over Lawton Eisenhower 29-17 in the 4th quarter.
3rd and long Tigers, handoff, left side, Winter. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. Not much else, and the Tigers will be in 4th down.
Fairview at the half, 48-6 over Beaver. In the 4th quarter, Tyrone over Buffalo 54-14. And at the half, Kremlin Hillsdale 32-8 over Balco.
Tigers are like the folks on the boat in the Moby Dick, Todd. They're just looking for the great white wind. The Pequod, and they're on the boat. And
what was the name of that boat?
The Pequod.
The Pequod.
And they're looking for the great white wind. Not having much success to it.
No.
Punt units on. Tigers will punt this away on the 4th down.
High kick.
Yep, bounces off a Tiger at about the 37.
The ball is down at the Piedmont 33-yard line.
But the
The Piedmont unit will come back on.
Tigers can hang their hat on the fact that they did find some offense tonight. It just wasn't quite enough, and it came too late. And they had to do a few fancy things to get some points on the board tonight. But they found something tonight, and if they can develop that, then things will look a little better.
Season hit the halfway mark tonight, right?
Right. We are halfway done here in about 3 minutes.
For the Wildcats.
Hold it, they blow the play down. Timeout taken by Piedmont. Are you kidding me?
Timeout.
2:47 left, and Piedmont takes a timeout. We'll take it with them back in 30. You're listening to Tiger Football on KKBS The Boss. And it shall remain a mystery.
Only to the folks on the radio, because everybody heard us on the TV.
Yeah, that's right. Handoff.
Oh, nice.
Kind of a bulldog tackle. They're going to flag the Tigers for that.
Parker Smith is the
Nothing wrong with that.
flag.
Carry
Frank Coakley
was Parker Smith with the carry to the left-hand side. And he probably lost a yard or two.
I didn't see anything wrong. Yeah,
They wave it off, as they should.
Yeah, anything. It's just a good,
It was
solid tackle.
kind of awkward looking.
Yeah, but he did what he had to with what he had.
Loss of a yard, back to the 36, 2nd and 11. And the clock back on the move with 2.5 minutes
Second and
left.
11 for the Wildcats from their 36-yard line.
Second unit on for the Wildcats, so we're going to have a slew of new numbers and new names and new faces.
Parker Smith at quarterback.
Snap is back, handoff to Smith. I have Garrett Morris.
Smith was tackled for a loss of about 4.
Sorry, yes.
I thought, did they
No. He was back there, and I thought he was going to take the snap, but he was just as one of the backs.
Okay, all right. I was a little confused. Not the first time tonight. Loss of 3 back to the 33, 3rd down. Clock goes under 2 minutes left. Wildcats will have 3rd and about 15, 3rd, 14 and 15. Direct snap. That's a new guy on the direct snap. Handoff and a loss of yardage to the right-hand side. They'll tackle him back behind the 30. That should bring up 4th down. Not sure who had the carry there. But the direct snap went to
Dylan Hill.
Dylan Hill.
Freshman. Very tall.
They're going to blow the play down and rule that a 3-yard loss at the 30. And they'll bring the punt unit on for Piedmont. Punt will happen and we'll be under a minute left of the ball game.
Piedmont will be on the road playing Woodward next week. Of course, Guymon will be back home taking on Bishop Guinness. Woodward will most certainly be moving up in the polls this week.
With their whacking of Carl Albert last night.
Yeah, McGinnis was number 5 in the Daily Oklahoma, number 4 in the AP this week. Carl Albert was number 2 in the Oklahoma.
47 seconds left in the game. Your Piedmont Wildcats.
Piedmont will take a timeout to avoid the delay of game penalty with 47 seconds left in the ball game. We'll keep it here rather than sending it back to the station. That Piedmont Woodward game is interesting next week as teams try and sort out, and I think pretty clearly at this point in the district, it's easy to see that the top 2 dogs are McGinnis and Carl Albert, and then after that, it's a free-for-all for those 3rd and 4th playoff spots.
Lawton losing tonight to Woodward, assuming that holds out.
Right.
So you've got Piedmont's right there. And so certainly next week's game should be highly important as to who's going to slide into that 3 spot.
And remember, Guthrie's a part of that conversation too. Or did you say Guthrie?
No, I didn't. I mean, they're 1 and 2 in the district. Or let's see, 1 and 3 actually. That's not right. I need to change that.
Did you get a little cross-eyed there?
No, I I didn't change my tables from last year's district.
Punts away for the Wildcats, trying to get the officials to call the roughing penalty. A little bit of bad acting there. Ball lands and takes a roll. Tigers then pick it up in traffic.
That's a bad idea.
And it will be dead. Ball will be dead at the Tiger 38-yard line.
38-yard line. It'll be first and 10 for the Tigers.
First down, 10 yards to go. Tigers got 34.8 seconds to work with from their own 38-yard line. Tigers, as we said, back at home next week, hosting what might be a team ranked second, maybe in the state.
Certainly third, I bet. Depending on which poll you're looking at.
McGinnis, the Irish, making the trip up.
They're used to it. They've been
in the district long enough. You're absolutely right.
Next year when Lawton comes,
They're probably not used to that.
I don't think they're going to have any idea.
First and 10 Tigers from their own 38-yard line. Two receivers left and one right, two running backs. They give it off to the running back from right to left. Got some positive yardage, out of bounds on the far side. Should have the first down. I want to say that's Lagarde. Can't really tell for sure.
I'm pretty sure that's right because I think he was one of the White Sox. But it looks like Drew.
Did it? Fool me once or twice, or in this case several times too. Giving forward progress to the 45. They say he stepped out of bounds. We'll pick up his 7. Stopping the clock. Second down. Play action. Throwing deep on the left-hand side. Nice defensive play there by the Wildcats as he knocks it out of the air, and it is incomplete with 23.2 seconds left.
Boy, it looked like he was right there for the taking. And the defender makes a nice adjustment for the ball and kicks it away, and Jovan can haul it in.
Clock stops on the incomplete pass. Third down and 3 for the Tigers from their own 45. Santos with the running backs, one on each hip on the 3rd and 4. Handoff coming from right to left, now reversing his field. This is Lagarde looking for a block from his quarterback. Is across the 45 to the 46. Did you see Jacob look and see, okay, I gotta turn it into a blocker.
And unfortunately, it wasn't enough for the first down, and that'll be the last play of the ball game.
Final score, 34-3. Piedmont with the win. The Wildcats got a 4-2 on the season. So we are past the halfway mark. 4 games left in the 2016 campaign. We'll step aside. We'll be back with the post-game show. You're listening to Tiger Football on KKBS The Boss.
Right here on Southfield. They will actually put 2 seconds back.
Oh!
Are you kidding me? Exactly. We can tell them when we come out of the break.
They're going to use the whole play clock to lose it.
Oh, what a. Oh. Oh, my God.
And the quickest ladder attempt is no good as your Piedmont Wildcats take home the lead.
They didn't make it if you're watching on TV.
Last night, this moves Piedmont to second place.
That is the end of the game.
Make sure to come out to Woodward and support your Wildcats next week versus the Boomers, and in 2 weeks here at Stout Field versus the Guthrie Blue Jays.